Hello, Eddy County. From the North Rim to the state line, you're listening to KCCC 930 AM. I'm Hattie here in Cavern City, and it's time for Midweek Matters, bringing you both the best upcoming events and interesting micro news from across our community. We'll start with weather and what's happening around town and on campus, then give you the quick news that affects your daily life. Before we begin, a reminder, if you have events, community news, or spotlight requests to share, please submit them through our contact form at kccc930am.com. Let's start with a look at the weather for Eddy County this week. It's a beautiful morning out there, sunny in the low 50s with today's high climbing to around 82 degrees. Thursday warms up a bit, more to around 86 degrees with a very slight chance of rain. Friday stays warm at around 85 degrees with another slim chance of showers. But take note, if you have outdoor plans this weekend, Saturday brings a 70% chance of rain with a high around 78. Keep an eye on the forecast and plan ahead. And as always, check your local weather service for the latest conditions. Now, here's what's happening around Eddy County this week and beyond. Thursday, April 9th, Veterans, this one's for you. Coffee with Veterans runs from 10 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. in the Walmart parking lot at 2401 Canal Street in Carlsbad. Join the Las Cruces Vet Center, Mobile Vet Center, American Job Center, New Mexico, and Grand Canyon University to learn about veterans services, benefits, and programs. For more information, call 915-227-6589. Thursday, April 9th, the Artist Gallery presents a spring art walk, the first of many, from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. at 120 South Canyon Street in Carlsbad. Enjoy art vendors, an art exhibition, and a chance to meet the artists. Thursday evening, April 9th, ESA, that's Epsilon Sigma Alpha, presents the Pax for Hunger 9th Annual Mayor's Dinner from 7 to 11 p.m. at the Walter Garrels Performing Arts Center at 4012 National Parks Highway. Meet Mayor Rick Lopez, enjoy dinner, music, and dancing, and a 50-50 raffle. The live auction features items valued between $200 and $4,500, including vacation packages, firearms, art, and much more. Tickets are $75 per person or $525 per table of 8. To come join the fun and help take a bite out of childhood hunger in our community, contact Leslie Brashers at 870-307-5953 or Sarah Worley at 575-499-7137. Friday, April 10th, the United Way of Eddy County holds its April food distributions at 2 locations. In Artesia, distributions begin at 7 a.m. at West Main Baptist Church, 1701 West Main Street. And in Carlsbad, distributions begin at 9 a.m. at the Epworth Methodist Fellowship, 1406 West Blodgett Street. Times may vary due to food truck arrival. For questions or assistance, call 575-628-0056 or dial 211. Saturday, April 11th, Cark Inc. presents the Hop into Spring 5K at 902 West Cherry Lane in Carlsbad. Pre-registration opens at 7 a.m. The 5K begins at 7:30. Yard games start at 8:30, followed by an egg hunt and face painting at 10 o'clock, and lunch and snow cones at 11. Free t-shirts for the first 50 to register. This event also marks the Cark Greenhouse Spring Opening. For more information, call 575-361-2512. Also Saturday, April 11th, the Carlsbad Heights Lions Club hosts a spaghetti dinner from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Carlsbad High School Cafeteria, 3000 West Church Street. On the menu, spaghetti, salad, Italian green beans, and garlic bread. You can eat in, carry out, or if your group is large enough, have it delivered. Tickets are $7 and may be pre-ordered or purchased at the meal. Call 575-361-6683 or contact any Heights Lions Club member. This is an administrative fundraiser for the Carlsbad Heights Lions Club and all the work they do throughout the year. Check out the episode from yesterday of the Community Forum for more information on this annual event. Saturday, April 11th, Walter Garrels Performing Arts Center presents K-Pop Warriors, the show, with a 3 p.m. performance. All foster kids and special needs kids in Eddy County get in free to this show. Tickets are $20 for kids, $30 for adults, and $40 for VIP. All shows presented in English. For more information, 575-840-0940. Tickets are also available at Ticketon. A second performance of K-Pop Warriors The Show will be held at 6 p.m. Again, tickets are $20 for kids and $30 for adults. Also, Saturday evening, April 11th, Lifehouse Recovering Community presents a free screening of It Takes Us from 6 to 8 p.m. at the Cavern Theater, 210 North Canyon Street. Food trucks, a free film screening, and a panel discussion about real stories of strength and the stigma surrounding mental health. Recommended for ages 18 and up. Older teens are welcome with a parent or guardian. Find them on Facebook at Carlsbad Lifehouse or on Instagram at Carlsbad_Lifehouse. Also, Saturday, April 11th, the Golf Society presents Country Night with Joey Green, a 21 and up event from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. at 1609 West Pierce Street, Suite C in Carlsbad. Tickets are $25. Have your ID ticket and money ready at the door. Looking ahead to next Wednesday, April 15th, the Southeast New Mexico Steps Network hosts a meet and greet breakfast at SENMC from 8:30 to noon. Expect great speakers, strong safety and industry updates, and a chance to tour the simulation lab. Continuing education units are offered to those who attend and stay for the entire program, and there may be some door prizes. All you have to do is show up. Mark your calendar for Saturday, April 18th. The Cavern Theater presents a special Earth Day screening of The Lorax, the 2012 animated modern classic, rated PG, 86 minutes. Showtimes are 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. at 201 North Canyon Street in downtown Carlsbad. Tickets are $8 for adults and $5 for seniors 55 and up, and $5 for children 12 and under. Get tickets at carlsbadcaverntheater.com. Also mark your calendar for Saturday, April 25th, when the Carlsbad Downtown Farmers and Makers Market makes its return on the Eddy County Courthouse lawn from 9 a.m. to noon. If you grow it, raise it, or harvest it, the market wants you to be part of the season. Vendor registration coming soon. Check them out at facebook.com/Carlsbad Downtown Farmers Market. Also mark your calendar for Saturday, April 25th, when the Cavern Theater will present Miss Congeniality, rated PG-13, 110 minutes, at 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. at 201 North Canyon Street. Now, let's see what's happening at the libraries this week. At the Artesia Public Library, 205 West Quay Avenue, today, Wednesday, April 8th at noon, Yarn United, dedicated to making and creating with yarn. Whether you knit, crochet, weave, or work with other types of crafts, come on down for some quality time on your project and meet a great bunch of people. Free and open to the public. Thursday, April 9th at 11:30 a.m., toddler time with movement activities, songs, social time, and fun. Free and open to the public. All supplies provided, ages 1 to 5. Also Thursday, April 9th at 4 p.m., the After School STEM and STEAM Club. Join them each Thursday for STEM and STEAM activities. Each week features a different activity. Free and open to the public with all supplies provided, ages 6 through 12. Also Thursday, April 9th at 4 p.m., the Teen Crafternoon. Once a month, teens gather to craft and create with a new craft each month to make and personalize. Free and open to the public with all supplies provided, grades 7 through 12. Saturday, April 11th at 11 a.m., Self-Defense is presented by Varsity Academy of Artesia. Basic self-defense techniques for patrons of all ages. Bring the family. Free and open to the public. Saturday, April 11th from 4 to 6 p.m., Family History. Each month, this group meets to discuss and research family history using the Family Search program. Bring your own laptop or tablet or use one provided by the library. Free and open to the public. Monday, April 13th from 1 to 5 p.m., Artesia Stitchers Sit and Stitch, needlepoint, cross-stitch, embroidery, beading, or any stitch work welcome, all skill levels. Drop 5 for as little or as long as you like. Free and open to the public, ages 18 and up. Tuesday, April 14th at 10 a.m., Children's Story Time for ages 3 to 5. Also Tuesday, April 14th from 2 to 6 p.m., Dungeons & Dragons, all skill levels welcome. And April 14th from 3:30 to 5 p.m., Teen Tuesday. Hang out, read, do homework, or play games. All supplies provided, grades 7 through 12. And finally, next Wednesday, April 15th at 10 a.m., Mother Goose. A weekly program for children ages 0 to 2 and their caregivers. Music, stories, puppets, baby games, rhymes, and more. Free and open to the public. What's up at the Carlsbad Public Library this week at 101 South Halagueno Street? Thursday, April 9th at 10 a.m. It's baby time for ages birth to 15 months. Saturday, April 11th from 9 to 11 a.m. Caffeine and Cultivation, a come-and-go seed, sprout, and plant swap while supplies last. This is the first of the 2026 dates for this popular program. Also Saturday, April 11th from 1 to 2 p.m., STEM Club. Tuesday, April 14th at 10 a.m., toddler time for ages 16 to 35 months. Next Wednesday, April 15th at 11 a.m., preschool time for ages 3 to 5. And mark your calendar for Thursday, April 16th from 3:30 to 4:30 p.m. when the Ozobot Club will meet, offered by Inspired by Science. Contact the library for more details. And mark your calendar for Saturday, April 25th from 9 a.m. to noon. The library is hosting a touch-a-truck with a special quiet hour running from 9 to 10 a.m. with no horns or sirens, making the event welcoming for everyone. The library can't wait to see you there. Carlsbad Public Library also shared a couple broader events. Saturday, April 25th, the New Mexico Libraries Foundation hosts a walk run at 10 a.m. at the Project Playground at the Rec Center, a great way to get moving and support libraries. Also, the Indie Author Project annual contest is now open through May 31st. First place winners receive $2,500 and 2 runners-up in each genre receive $500. Winners will be honored at the 2027 Indie Author Day reception and receive a full-page print spread in Library Journal. Eligible books must be indie published in EPUB, strongly encouraged, or PDF format in genres including mystery thrillers, romance, sci-fi, fantasy, historical fiction, general contemporary fiction, memoir, young adult, and children's picture books. Submit your book at indieauthorproject.libraryshare.com/IAP. Check out the Facebook for more information from our library. Now it's time for our Eddy County Quickies Micro News. First up, some good news on the federal budget front for Eddy County. While most Department of Energy nuclear cleanup sites are facing modern cuts for fiscal year 2027, the Waste Isolation Pilot Plant is slated for a 12% budget increase, according to the Exchange Monitor. Also, according to the Monitor, the Department of Energy's Carlsbad Field Office is looking to hire a deputy manager. The post carries a pay scale ranging from $199,000 to $228,000 and is available through USA Jobs. The posting was shared on LinkedIn by DOE Carlsbad Manager. Utilities across New Mexico are ramping up for wildfire prevention efforts, according to a recent hearing before the state's Public Regulation Commission. Electric providers say they are investing in advanced mapping tools, AI-powered cameras that can detect fires as they start, and are replacing wooden poles with steel ones outfitted with safer equipment. Some utilities are also preparing for possible preemptive power shut-offs during extreme fire weather, with alert systems intended to give advance notice to hospitals and vulnerable residents. Officials warn these upgrades come at a cost, and regulators expect some expenses will be passed on to customers, contributing to rising electric bills. Thank you to the Carlsbad Current-Argus for this news. Also from the Argus, fire danger remains elevated across Eddy County and the region. Beginning April 1st, the National Weather Service issued wind advisories and red flag warnings with gusts expected to exceed 60 miles per hour through the season, off and on. While no fires have been reported in the Carlsbad area, several are burning across southern New Mexico. The Bureau of Land Management has imposed restrictions on the Black River Management Area, banning campfire smoking and off-road driving. Also from the Current Argus, a wildfire burning on Mescalero Apache Reservation land in Otero County is near full containment. The Sago Fire, first reported March 26, burned about 282 acres near Cow Camp. Recent rain helped crews increase containment to about 75%, with command now transitioned to a local response led by the Bureau of Indian Affairs Mescalero Agency. Fire restrictions remain in effect on tribal lands and nearby communities. Eddy County felt the earth move Monday afternoon. A magnitude 4.3 trembler was reported at about 2 p.m. on April 6, with an epicenter about 9 miles south of Atoka, a rural community of about 1,200 residents situated 30 miles north of Carlsbad and 5 miles south of Artesia along U.S. Highway 285. This is according to the U.S. Geological Survey. No injuries or property damage were reported. According to the Michigan Technological University, magnitude 4.3 events are considered moderate earthquakes, often felt and known to cause minor damage, though quakes of this size remain rare in this region. The quake was the largest of 158 earthquakes of magnitude 2.5 or higher recorded in the Permian Basin so far this year, and only the second to reach magnitude 4.0 or higher. For context, there were 7 magnitude 4.0 or higher quakes in the region last year, led by a magnitude 5.4 event on May 3rd, 2025, about 36 miles south of White City near Carlsbad Caverns National Park. According to reporting by Adrian Hedden of the Carlsbad Current-Argus, experts say the increase in seismic activity is likely tied to oil and gas operations, particularly the underground injection of wastewater, and state regulators have rules requiring reduced injection levels or shutdowns near quake epicenters, depending on their strength. A strange political conversation is underway that could have significant implications for southeastern New Mexico. Texas House Speaker Dustin Burrows has directed a legislative committee to study the possibility of New Mexico counties seceding to Texas, following a proposal by Randy Pettigrew of Lovington that would allow counties to pursue secession under certain conditions. The committee will examine the legal, economic, and procedural steps involved. Pettigrew said his proposal was meant to spark conversation, arguing that counties like Eddy and Lee contribute significantly to New Mexico's revenue, but feel overlooked by Santa Fe. Local reaction has been mixed. Larry Scott of Hobbs called the idea unlikely, noting New Mexico could be reluctant to give up billions in revenue. For now, the proposal remains largely theoretical with no formal action taken. And if you want to hear this issue explored a little, tune in tomorrow to KCCC 9:30 a.m. at noon or 11 p.m. or check out our socials for this week's Community Forum interview with Paul Gessing of the Rio Grande Foundation, where he will address the secession question among other important topics. A Carlsbad landmark is celebrating a milestone. The Cavern's Ear, beloved anchor of downtown at 201 North Canyon Street, turned 75 years old this past Thursday, April 3rd. From classic films to community events, this historic space has brought generations of Carlsbad residents together through shared experiences, laughter, and unforgettable moments. Originally opened in 1951, the theater went dark for decades before a 9-year, $8.4 million renovation brought it back to life in 2025. Now owned by the city of Carlsbad and operated by Carlsbad Main Street and powered by community volunteers, the Cavern is once again the beating heart of downtown. Here's to 75 years of memories and the many more still to come. Thank you, Carlsbad Cavern Theater. Southeast New Mexico College has something to celebrate. SENMC recently received the 2025 Paragon Award from the National Council for Marketing and Public Relations at the Council's National Conference in Washington, D.C. The award, in Logo Wear category, honors SENMC's marketing team for the design of the college's button-up shirt, a short-sleeve all-over graphic print inspired by Southeast New Mexico's desert landscapes, featuring Eddy the Mountain Lion, yucca plants, and more. This year's award drew 1,585 entries from 216 colleges across the country. Congratulations to the SENMC marketing team. And finally, tomorrow, April 9th, is the first annual Local News Day, a national recognition of the vital role journalism plays in our communities. Here in Eddy County, we are fortunate to have several dedicated local outlets working every day to keep you informed. Here's how you can celebrate and support them. The Carlsbad Current-Argus, serving Carlsbad, Artesia, Loving, and all of Eddy County since 1889, is available at currentargus.com. You can subscribe to digital and print editions there or find them on Facebook and follow reporter Adrian Hedden on X. The Carlsbad Local, local news by local writers, owned locally. is at carlsbadlocalnews.com. You can also reach them by phone at 575-706-2324 or by email at editor@carlsbadlocalnews.com. Find them on Facebook at Carlsbad Local News. The Artesia Daily Press, Artesia's own local paper publishing every Thursday since 1954, is at artesianews.com. Both the Carlsbad Current Argus and the Artesia Daily Press are now locally owned by El Rito Media. KSVP AM 990 and KEND 106.5 FM, both broadcasting out of Artesia and both owned by Pecos Valley Broadcasting Company, serve the northern end of the county and the broader Pecos Valley region. KSVP has been on the air since 1946 with local news, sports, and talk. KEND 106.5 FM brings mornings with Mike Winters and more to the FM dial. Listen live at ksvpradio.com or find them on Facebook at KSVP Radio Artesia. Watch live events and sports at ksvptv.com. And right here on KCCC 930 AM, we cover Eddy County from Carlsbad to the county line. Visit us at kccc930am.com and use our Contact Us form to share events, tips, and news from anywhere across the county. Submitting your local events and news tips to any of these outlets is itself an act of support. Local journalists depend on community members to help surface the stories that matter. And if your outlet has a listening tour or community conversation event coming up, show up. Your voice is part of the story. Another way to support local news is to get involved with the SENMC Workforce Community Journalism Program. Look for information in the summer catalog coming soon. And now, up at Southeast New Mexico College, here's what's happening on campus and through SENMC Community Education. Today, Wednesday, April 8th, the Transfer and Career Fair runs from 4 to 5:30 p.m. in the SEMC gym. Whether you're thinking about transferring to a four-year school or exploring career options, this is a great chance to connect with representatives and get your questions answered. Contact Saul Navarrete at SNAVARRETE@senmc.edu for more information. Hope to see you there. This evening, Wednesday, April 8th, SEMC Community Education presents Energy You Can Feel, Chakras Made Simple from 6:30 to 8 p.m. It's a beginner-friendly interactive workshop introducing the chakra system through hands-on exploration rather than lecture. Grounded, accessible, and engaging, no prior experience required. Contact SENMC Community Education for details and location. Thursday, April 9th, Community Education presents acrylic painting with instructor Michaela Cardona from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. Through step-by-step demonstrations and hands-on practice, students explore color, composition, and technique inspired by the New Mexico landscape. Suitable for all levels of experience. Cost is $25, ages 16 and up. Contact SEMC Community Education for more. Monday, April 13th, Spring into Learning in the SEMC Courtyard from 3 to 5 p.m., a free, family-friendly event with story time, dance, and paint party. Activities are geared toward ages 2 to 10. For more information, email Cindy Wang at mwang@senmc.edu. Tuesday, April 14th, Poetry and Jazz Celebration in the SEMC Courtyard from 3:30 to 4:30 p.m., an afternoon of creativity, rhythm, and expression. If you'd like to play a tune or share some of your favorite poems, contact shardin@senmc.edu. Next Wednesday, April 15th, the Support Group for Families with Disabilities meets at SEMC from 1:30 to 2:30 p.m. For more information, contact Mariana Moreno at RMORENOURQUIDI@senmc.edu. Mark your calendar for Tuesday, April 21st. SEMC Community Education presents a standalone podcasting intensive from 5 to 9 p.m. This intermediate level session designed for those with some basic podcasting knowledge who are ready to commit to their work in progress. In one focused evening, work through planning, scripting, and recording your first episode. Bring your concept and leave with content in hand. Cost is $30. Open to ages 16 and up. Mark your calendar for Thursday, April 23rd for SEMC's 4th anniversary and National Community College Month celebration. Energy Day lectures open to the public begin midday, and the STEAM Expo and Open House run from 4 to 7 p.m. with an open map game format, hands-on exhibits, student demonstrations, and a prize drawing at 6:30 p.m. featuring a MacBook, professional camera, AirPods Max, and more. Free and open to all ages. Learn more at senmc.edu in our news section. Also on Thursday the 23rd, Community Education presents acrylic painting with Michaela Cardona from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. $25, ages 16 and up. Also Thursday, April 23rd, SENMC Community Education presents Kokidama Workshop, Japanese Floral Art with Moss. From 5:30 to 7 p.m., build your own moss-wrapped plant arrangement and take it home. All supplies included. Cost is $30, ages 16 and up. And mark your calendar for Tuesday, May 12th, another standalone SENMC Community Education Podcasting Intensive beginning at 5 p.m. Plan, script, and record in one focused evening. Cost is $30, ages 16 and up. Contact SENMC Community Education for details. And now for our local spotlight. The spotlight this month shines on two graduates of SENMC's Spring Break Podcasting Camp, run by yours truly. Students who spent their spring break not on the couch, but behind a microphone, learning to craft and share their own audio spotlights on topics they are passionate about. We're proud to celebrate the creative and curious voices emerging right here in Eddy County. We're pleased to support this kind of community building education here at Southeast New Mexico College. In 4 days, they researched, wrote, and refined their scripts, recording and re-recording until they got it just right. Then they edited their work and set it to a public domain soundtrack. First, Daniel asked the question you might not have thought to ask. What is band? Not just what it is on the surface, but what it means. The discipline, the community, the craft behind the performance. If you've ever watched a marching band and wondered what goes into it, Daniel has the story.
What is band? Band is where there are multiple people playing instruments and making music. There are multiple types of bands. There are military and school bands. In school bands, there are beginning, intermediate, and advanced bands. I was march and jazz bands in high school. In the military, there are more elite musicians for playing in armed forces. How does band help? Band can help in many ways. It can help teamwork, since you need to work with other students to make music. It can help leadership when you and other students need to do the same song, and students can act like leaders for the instrument section. It helps musical understanding along with behavior for school and in general. When did band originate? Band starts way back in ancient times, when groups of musicians would play for religious events and festivals. In the Middle Ages, bands were often made up of noblemen and rich salesmen to entertain the royalty. The first real band was made in the 1300s in the Ottoman Empire, called the Mazar, and the term band wasn't used until 1659 by the Old English. The first school band was the Boston Farm and Trade School Band in 1856. Today, bands could be seen basically everywhere. In schools, in the military, you name it. So, from my personal experience, band is really fun. You get to go to concerts and all that fun stuff. In high school, you get to march, which is really fun. But you need to practice and put some effort into it. And if you're able to do that, you'll be able to become a better band student and a better musician in general. Band is a fun hobby in school or in the military where you play instruments to play music. In order to play, you need to put in some effort and practice playing, but it's fun. That concludes this podcast. I'll see you in the next one.
Hey, good. Okay, so what instrument do you play?
Oh, I should.
Now tell me now.
Trumpet.
And how long have you been playing the trumpet?
2 years.
Years. And you play in a larger band. How many students would you say are generally in band?
Beginning like 200-ish, intermediate, the one I'm in, 40, advanced like 25.
Did you have to audition to be an intermediate?
No, it's if you're good in beginning, you get to be an intermediate.
You don't audition, but you apply?
You apply.
Okay. That's cool. What else do I want to know about band? Let me unmute you.
I have a question for you. What got you into band? What spiked your interest?
I was just interested in what it was. I just want to see how it's done over there.
You mentioned in one of our conversations about band that you had done, I think, like a semester of physical education, then you switched to band?
Yes. Like in the middle, like 4 months before the first 9 weeks ended.
Oh. And is that normal? Are you allowed to switch electives
Yeah,
like that?
you're allowed to do that.
Nice. They were not so flexible in my...
Mine either. Once you had your set schedule, you really were stuck with it until the end of the semester.
And I think that it's important to encourage people to try new things. Like my kid is in the cooking class right now as part of the spring break camps because I think it's important he be able to cook for himself. He's not super into it. He's not going to become a chef. That's fine. But he'll be able to feed himself more than the pizza, And that's important to me. And then, but he's also doing an art class after it. Right, because you need to try new things. So I think it's better to allow students to flex where they didn't need to.
I agree. Because I know, like you said, whenever you and I were growing up, once you had a set schedule, you were stuck with that regardless.
Yeah. So that's nice. All right. So it's 1 year per level, or is it more than 1 year? Like how long beginning was a year, or?
Yeah, beginning is each level is a year.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure in high school, there's like no, it's the same thing over there.
Yeah. But they have marching band and other band that you
they
mentioned.
have marching band, jazz band.
What do you think you'll go for?
Both? You do both.
Yeah. Are you interested in doing marching and jazz?
Yeah, I'm pretty interested in it.
Nice. Hi.
Huh? What?
You were also in band, right?
Yeah.
What do you play?
Euphonium.
Oh,
Yeah.
What is that?
describe it. Do not internet search. We're on the radio. Describe it.
Just like a mini tuba.
Cool. Okay, I've seen that little compact giant horn, but compact, not like the full weight and majesty of the tuba.
Yeah.
That's cool, though. That's brass?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you're both brass? Okay.
Yes.
Is that how you guys became friends, or did you know each other before band?
Oh,
Wait.
we've been friends since like kindergarten.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Went to the band together. For the listeners, Thai has shown us a picture of the euphonium, which is a tight tuba-like thing, not rounded like the French horn, or linear like a trombone, strangely, but not a slide.
Yeah. Plays the same notes as a trombone, however.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Didn't know that. I just stumbled on it.
Yeah.
Like tuba and trombone got lazy.
Yeah. It's normally what I tell people. Yeah.
All right, and then trumpet.
Yes.
Was that hard to learn?
No, not really.
No?
It's like the more you learn, the longer it'll take to learn more.
You pretty much have to have a good lung capacity.
Yes.
Yeah, more so for euphonium.
Really?
Like in order to play in order to play long for a long time without taking a breath, you need really good lung capacity.
Yeah,
Impressive.
and the more air it takes to play an instrument, you gotta have a better lung capacity. Because it has something to do with the vibrations.
Oh,
It takes more air to create bigger vibrations.
That
pretty
makes
much.
sense.
I guess that's where the squealing comes in if you don't have enough air in your lungs.
No,
No.
that's clarinets. And,
clarinets,
Yeah,
yeah.
woodwinds.
Okay.
Yeah.
They squeal more.
that's a woodwind thing. Whenever they, I don't know if it's like, it's whenever they, if I remember right, so clarinet is like, you hold it, you have buttons you have to press. If you don't hold one down all the way, then the clarinet starts squeaking. If you don't have enough lung capacity for a brass instrument, however, you won't play at all.
Fizzles out.
Like that.
Yeah.
Like an 80s song. So,
They don't get that reference.
no, we were talking about it the first day about how all the
no.
music from the 80s ends with the fade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, does it? And then like my friend named like a million songs for me that do it. And I was like, oh, I guess it does. So, but that's off topic. I wanted to ask each of you in turn,
ahead.
what is the favorite musical piece that you have done this year?
Huh. Good question. You go first, Daniel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go first, man.
It makes
ahead.
sense. It's his interview.
Yeah, fair enough. I feel like it's a tie between the Red Balloon. It's like a slow song.
I don't like that song. No.
No.
We play the same note the whole time, so.
That's
Oh,
why. Yeah, Lil Ras is boring when it comes to music.
Yeah.
And the national anthem.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's very cool. Have you played it at school events?
Nope.
Not yet. We're
got
preparing for a spring concert.
Oh, that's exciting.
It's going to be on Cinco de Mayo at the CHS Auditorium.
Okay, everybody, make note of that. It'll be in Midweek Matters, of course, but
Be
don't
there
let me
or
forget.
be square.
That'll be super
We will
cool.
know.
I love it. And what's your favorite song or songs from this year?
So far, I'd say the song General Green.
Oh, yeah, that one.
Yeah.
That one's good. Good one.
Know that.
It's probably the only one, probably because he doesn't play a single note. He doesn't play only one note
Right.
in that song.
So it's not monotonous.
Yeah. It's fun.
I think it's always better to be challenged.
Yeah. Yeah.
Keeps me sharp. Excellent. Well, thank you so much, Daniel. I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to us about band. And thank you, Sai, for hopping in.
Yeah.
And thank you, Joe, for assisting.
My pleasure.
Thank you, Daniel. And from Sai, the history of Billy the Kid. Right here in our own backyard, one of the most legendary and misunderstood figures of the American West left his mark on New Mexico. Sai digs into the history, the myth, and the conspiracies around the kid's life and legacy.
Howdy. I'm Sai, and I will be taking a deep dive into the life and legacy of Billy the Kid. Let's get right into it. Billy the Kid, born William H. Bonney in 1859 in New York City, is one of the most famous Western outlaws in U.S. history, known for his murders and dramatic escapes from the law. Later in life, he and his family moved to Silver City, New Mexico, where his mother later died of tuberculosis and soon after his father left it. Before his skirts with the law, he took refuge at the Seven Rivers trading post north of Carlsbad. His first experience with the law was stealing clothes. He escaped from jail by shimmying up a chimney. The Lincoln County War was a conflict that took place in Lincoln County, New Mexico, and it was the bloodiest war in New Mexico history. It was a fight between one faction, known as the Murphy-Dolan faction, the owners of a monopolistic general goods store in Lincoln, and the other side, the Regulators faction, which fought against the Murphy-Dolan faction. They mainly wanted to control the general goods store's monopoly by combating them both economically and physically. The war officially started in February 1878 with the murder of a competing general goods store, John Tunstall. The war was mainly about beef contracts and the economics at Lincoln. The main battle of the war was at Alexander McSween's house, John Tunstall's business partner. This place was where lots of gunfire occurred between the factions and eventually was set ablaze by the Murphy-Dolan faction. The end of the war, in July 1878, was generally regarded as the murder of Alexander McSween, a major leader of the faction of the Regulators, and a lawyer of John Tunstall. He died in a shootout with a group of men associated with the Murphy-Dolan faction. After this, the Regulators faction disbanded and the war was generally over, with Tunstall dead and Dolan ending up bankrupt. In April 1881, Billy the Kid was sentenced to be hung for the murder of Sheriff William Brady. While awaiting execution in the Lincoln County Courthouse, he escaped from jail while killing 2 deputies. In July 1881, when Billy the Kid was back at the Maxwell house, he was shot and killed by Sheriff Pat Garrett. However, some believe this event was staged and that Billy lived. One theory that some have put forward is that Billy escaped the event and moved to Texas under the alias of Brushy Bill Roberts. They both have similar looks, similar stories about the Lincoln County War, and similar knowledge of each other's life. Another theory is that Pat Garrett shot the wrong man. This theory alleges that, in order to collect a reward for killing Billy the Kid, Pat Garrett shot the wrong man, collected the money, and quickly buried him to stop an investigation of the body. And with that, I will close out my segment. Have a good one.
Sorry.
What got you interested in Billy the Kid and history?
My family, they run a camp up in the Ruidoso area, so every year we head through that area, and a lot of history over there.
Cool. So did you learn about it in school and then wanted to experience it since you're so close to Lincoln?
No. Before we learned about it in school, we
You already know about it.
already knew about Billy the Kid.
Oh, very nice.
So yesterday you told me that you are a historian
Yeah.
by
I guess.
vocation, by hobby, by passion. Are you specifically interested in the Wild West period, or does it branch into others?
No, just modern history in general. Really interests me.
Okay, so the history of the modern world.
Mhm.
Yes. What did I want to ask about the kid? So you mentioned that he took refuge at the Seven Rivers Trading Post, which I told you about, because I just did a thing about it on Midweek Matters, but also the newsletter that came out on Sunday where I do a deep dive, the Sunday lowdown. So that was Barbara Ma'am Jones, who ran the Seven Rivers Trading Post, and he basically stumbled out of the desert starving, and she took him in, and she wouldn't let anybody leave while they were hungry or unhealed. And it earned her the additional nickname of Angel of the Pecos, so she's not the only one to wear that. But I thought that was really cool. I don't know if he was injured and she had to take care of him or if he was just starving. But either way, I feel in a way she's instrumental in what came after,
Yeah.
which is fascinating to me because that was a connection I had. I noticed that he was mentioned in bio, but I hadn't really thought about it at that time.
Now, did you know that Pat Garrett actually had a couple of homes here in Carlsbad whenever it was called Eddy County? It's on the corner of Guadalupe and Stevens, if I'm not mistaken. And then he also had an office, and he was part of now Trinity Hotel. That used to be the original bank of one of the
Eddy.
banks. Bank of Eddy County, or I can't even remember what the original name was. But he had an office here, and he would make trips down here. And at one time, all this used to be Lincoln County.
Wow.
I didn't realize that it was all Lincoln.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The bottom part of New Mexico was Lincoln County.
Before Charles Eddy came.
Right. And before they split it up to Donna Ana County and Chavez County and all that. All this used to be at one time Lincoln County.
Lincoln County used to be bigger than quite a few states.
Yes.
So,
I think they said that one time the state of Rhode Island and some of the smaller states up in the northern part of the
Connecticut?
states
Sure.
could fit in the bottom part of New Mexico in Lincoln County.
I believe
itself.
that.
No.
yeah.
The states of New England are definitely. Well, like you could easily just drive 45 minutes, be in another state.
See, I want to do that one day. I've never been up that way, and I've heard it's really, really pretty. And
It's really cool, and the history there is fabulous.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely. But, the kid. So, did we talk today about the conspiracies? I zoned out.
Yeah, we did.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah,
So, What was the guy's name in Texas that he might have been?
Brushy Bill Roberts.
And what was Brushy Bill known for? There, Andy, you know?
He wasn't really prominent too much until he was asked about it, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm Bill the Kid."
I love that. There's a lot of old West Lotharios that have developed these legends about them or conspiracy theories about them. My family has a weird one about Jesse James, where he ended up being a stagecoach driver, and my great whatever rode shotgun for him.
That's kind of cool.
Excuse me.
You can cut that out.
Okay.
All right, so we're at about the same amount of time. Excellent. Thank you.
Yay.
I appreciate you. Daniel, did you have any questions for Sai about Billy the
No.
Kid?
No questions.
All right. Thank you, Sai. That's your Midweek Matters for today from Carlsbad, the seat of Eddy County. Thank you for listening. Artesia, Carlsbad, Hope, Loving, and all the areas in between, out in the fields and on the road. If you have an event or news item you'd like us to share, please contact us using the form at kccc930am.com. This show was produced in partnership with Southeast New Mexico College Workforce and Community Education.